Hey YouTube family, welcome back. So the snow melted, the streets are clear of ice. We're not skating in the streets anymore. So it's time to take some of the sunny weather and get to cracking on the garden and just get cleaned up after that snowstorm and get prepared for hopefully an early spring. So the herb garden's cut back. I already see some growth, so this is kind of telling me I need to get a start. Oregano's coming back after a trimming. The rosemary's got some green tips on her, so I need to get in here and get these leaves out or mulch them out, but clear it out a little bit. We're gonna put some new herbs in here. Girls are loving this weather. They just went through their molting phase and they have new feathers, so they're looking very pretty. Garden beds are now, oh my, 9 years old. The soil is great, the wood is not, so hopefully this year I can reconfigure these. I split these up and made them a little smaller so they had better walkways. It was a little hard to harvest, and the soil just looks great, phenomenal, but the boards are giving out and it was ad hoc, so it's time to maybe do this a little proper. But anyway, I'm excited to start working on these. So, and I got a little sneak peek at the project I'm wrapping up, which is part of getting this garden going. But, you know, even the blueberries get real close in here. The blueberries are starting to bud up. So that tells me, we're getting going here. But, so this is where I used to do potatoes in between the blueberries, and that was like a double weeding. So I'd weed when I planted the seed potatoes, and then I'd weed during harvest. And that's when these blueberries were really getting established, but now they're really established, so I might not do the potatoes here. I might do the potatoes in straw columns and maybe do them outside of here, because one thing I noticed the other day is that we're starting to get these volunteer runners, so I might start harvesting these and repotting them. These apples need to probably actually go in the ground. This is a Gravenstein with my companion planting onions. These got really walloped by the deer. I guess there wasn't enough food this year. This side needs a lot of work. I need to cut back the roadie. She didn't do so well because of the snow, well, the heat wave and then the drought, and it's just craziness. So girls have been tilling this and getting the worms out, so I let them, but then I protect this. And then also, you know, you've seen my worm videos. This is just leaves on top of compost and just compost, and I probably even put some chicken manure in here, but that's something I'll show you in a minute. This side kind of neglected. Need to get over here and do the inner plantings. Take this Oregon ash down. That was another thing I noticed was even these Mediterranean, well, this is an Olympic fig, but oh, even she's starting to bud up. So, I mean, it's only January. Well, third week of January. So when I saw the figs going, I thought, well, it's kind of got to be time. So I need to get over here. And then I'd like to do one more bed down here. Maybe 2 beds here after the blueberries. There was a natural spring here. So instead of getting the lawnmower stuck, I just planted blueberries, and then the spring kind of dried up. So it is what it is. Anywho, so no bees last year, and I don't even know if they would have handled that ice storm. So this year, I don't even think I videoed this, but I put the rain roof on it, and then the tree fell on it. And then the bear got into it. Anywho, I'm gonna move this up the hill by the chicken coop. Sorry for the sniffles. It's been cold and still getting over stuff from the winter. And I'm not going to edit this to turn down each sniffle sound, so sorry. But other thing is noticing the apples look really, really nice. Not completely budding up, but I'm starting to see some cones. Let's see how some of these second year splices work. Let's see. This one the deer really like to beat on, so not doing great. See, like, I'm gonna have to come through and trim, but there's green in there, so come through and do a trimming, which is what I wanted to talk about. Apples, I'm not gonna trim this year. I'm gonna trim down the moon glow a little bit. Ow. Definitely the sea buckthorn. This stuff is as tall as me now. So cut that down, get some nitrogen released into the soil. This pear needs to get trimmed. It is just too tall. I can't reach it for one. For two, had some wind damage, and now it's got a nice lean to it. So I'm gonna take that down. I don't know, about 6 to 6 feet high. I think I'm gonna lose a lot of branches, but I'm gonna take it down. Hopefully the fruit will stay on this lower ladder, and then we'll work it back up. This pear also needs to get trimmed because it broke in the snowstorm last year and I never trimmed it in time. And they're already budding up. Also the cherry's getting way too big. I've already trimmed it once and it's way up there, so I'm gonna have to come down some more on this one and this one, but then also the sea buckthorn, which is a nitrogen fixer, and the goji berries are just huge nitrogen fixer. And then also the ceanothus really came in, so I'm gonna move one of them. We're supposed to get another couple inches of rain, but the ceanothus really came in, and these have really beautiful purple flowers, and the bees love them. It's a beautiful day. I gotta get some of the cross branches out of that. Some experiments. See if we can get some air layering going on. I don't know if you've watched the old videos, but look how much this is growing in. This is the weir system for the water runoff. Sweet basil just needs to get trimmed back. But we really kept a lot of sediment out of the lake this year, which should help with the lilies, which reduce the oxygen in the water, which reduce the fish. Look at this in my green. This is my tea tree, Camellia sinensis. The deer have decimated this, so I gotta get my protection back up. I just moved it the other day to clean up, but yeah, you can see the weir is full, and that was probably knee deep at the beginning of the year. So anyway, the big update I wanted to say was, so check this out. All of this stuff has got to get cleaned up. Just random plantings that never made it, and then some seeds. I've got all kinds. This was my planting table, and then I noticed some lupine starting, so that made me jump on this and get this going, because one project I've been working on, I want to get all these cleaned up. It's just a mess, and you know, in the snow, you don't want to look at it. But one video I did not do yet is the lean-to greenhouse. I've been working on this for a while. So if you check this out, we have some beautiful hemlock doors. Need some glass right here. But I made 3 shelves, and we used some 20 gauge steel framing. These are track framings from commercial builds, and then some leftover braces that I turned into shelves. Don't mind the weld. It was dark out when I was doing it. But anyway, so these should hold 1, 2, 3, 4, at least five trays. And here's like my overwintering experiment. These were just beet cutoffs. And I threw in some soil instead of composting them, and I threw some water on them, see if I could do some microgreens. And they just started coming up now. That was a while back, but so yeah, so hopefully this will allow us to get our starts started. And then I hope to put a fieldstone wall with a small chimney, hopefully something a little big enough to clean up the yard after these storms, so the twigs and the limbs, but maybe some sort of rocket stove or something that just takes some of the heat for the winter, really cold winter months, maybe extend our growing season. But since I had these doors, I went ahead and used them for the wall. It's all tempered glass. And so when I come to harvest, if I don't want to work in the inside, or if it's too hot, I can just open up, and then I can also reach this side. So I can work from both sides depending on the weather. So I can even work in here when it's raining, or I can work from this side and easily access this. So I think this is a win. There are a lot of temporary stuff going on right now, but it's winter. What do you want? Anyway, that's what I really wanted to show everybody, because I didn't do any videos on it. I absolutely just built it without any cameras rolling. So hopefully we'll get that cleaned up. Anyway, I'm working on the chicken coop. I'll follow up the video on that. But till then, we'll be working in the greenhouse, getting ready for spring. So winter's almost over, y'all. And now I have a place for all my experiments. So it's a mushroom experiment. Experiment number 3. Then, what else do we have going on? The onions. We've got some onions going. Just leave those little root balls on there. The pineapple did not like the winter. Some seed potatoes that were going bad under the thing. Look at those roots. Those will grow. Anywho, alright, stay tuned. I'm gonna go clean out the chicken coop, get ready for some spring chickens. I think we'll have one more nasty winter storm, but until then, y'all, take care. Check out the channel. And stay tuned. Spring's almost here. Cheers.